We on? Oh God, the stream manager. All right. Hello. Geesh. We gotta turn the light on. There you go. Hello, everyone. Hey, Data Guru, how are you? Hey, Data Guru, how are you? You know the drill. You're the first one here. The viewer count is wrong. Light check, mic check, video check, check 1 2. How do we sound? Check 1 2. Check. Audio, video, audio, video. Hello. Are we good? Data Guru. All right, we're good. Oh, good. Hello, everyone. Wow. I got some sad news. This is it. This is the final Twitch stream of the semester. This is it. I'm saddened because I thoroughly enjoy doing these streams on Thursdays at 4:30. Uh, they're fun. Always a lot of fun. Um, I remembered when I first started doing this in fall 2020, I was like, I should enjoy doing it, and little did I know I thoroughly enjoy doing these. Hey Zen, how are ya? You know, one of the things I will say is I really appreciate the audience here. View count, whatever, but it really makes what do they say? Teaching is a thankless job, and I feel that opening up the classroom to a much wider audience, and quite frankly, I don't even know if you're if you're a student in my security class or not, or you're a professional. It doesn't matter, but it's really nice when you get chat going, people chime in, have good conversations. And if you add it all up, it feels like teaching it feels like less of a thankless job. So I really want to thank you so much. I want to say thank you so much. Um, so today is the last Twitch class, the Twitch session, and I feel that I don't want to go on a vicious rant as I always have done for years. I mean, you take a look at previous videos and stuff. I think we're going to use this time um, not only to address, I'm sure, a really big concern and topic that you're probably thinking about right now, um, is where do you go from here? Where do you go from here, and what opportunities do you have? Here we are in the year 2023, and I still get people asking me, how do I get involved and interested and learn cybersecurity? And I get that question quite a bit. Uh, Still, even up to this day in 2023. And it's not a very straightforward uh, question and topic to address because as you learned about cybersecurity, there are just so many different avenues to take. So the good news is I feel you all got a pretty broad education, which is from this whole security course, which is really good. I think if you got something out of this semester, you got a broad education. This is not a security course where, like in the past, in other institutions, you learn, oh, just cryptography or just about networking. In this class, you got to see everything. Cryptography, um, web security, vulnerabilities, networks, and network security, and you even did malware. So you dabbled with each a lot of different topics, which you got a pretty broad scope of security. That's the good news because that will lead to many opportunities that you have. Because if I talk this course just network security, that's all you're going to think about is the network side, but you're never going to think about things like policy. The bad news is it's just so many. Like, you go to Google, you go to YouTube, and you try to watch videos. it gets over, and you try to search for videos, it gets overwhelming really, really quickly. So that's the bad news. So you may be wondering, I guess, how is today going to be structured? Like, how is today going to be structured in terms of, wow, addressing where do you go from here? I guess I'll pull up a visual, a word, text editor, and I think I'll say a few things. Don't save. Okay. This is what we're going to think the big items we're going to talk about. We're going to say about fundamentals, continuing education, uh, free content, certifications, books, projects. Yeah, I think that's this is how these are going to be. Um, these are going to be how I'm going to structure today by talking about these items. Is Chris here? Chris chiming in. I wish he is. He's a professional, um, and of course he took the security class. And actually, it was sad in spring 2020 that he took it when the course got cut. The first two things I want to mention are the best investment you can always make. The best investment is on you. I can't do that for you. That's your responsibility. It is up to you to make an investment in yourself, and that's the best investment that you'll ever make, ever. Better than the stock market. You gotta invest in you and yourself. Whether it's security, whether it's in other field, it doesn't matter. Bar none. I just have to remind you. With cybersecurity, it's a little different. And one thing that I need to make crystal clear to everyone who is interested in doing cybersecurity, important point number two, is I want to show you this article. If you haven't read it, it's Josephine Wolf, um, what Josephine Wolf wrote in 2018. And that is the skills needed for cybersecurity jobs aren't easy to learn in the classroom. Josephine Wolf was an assistant professor at the Rochester Institute of Technology, and is now a hotbed for cybersecurity. Little did I know, a year after she wrote this article, she would join Tufts, which was really, really cool. And I'm grateful that she wrote this article because she made it very clear. Look, if you really want to succeed or you want to, do cybersecurity, most of the work, and I said no, I said most, I didn't say all. Most of the work that you're going to do, most of the efforts are going to be out of the classroom. And she makes a lot of great points why that is the case. The problem is that as you've learned in cybersecurity, there's just so many unconventional techniques. A lot of stuff are just never going to be learned that you can't learn in the classroom. Here's the thing, and she said this, you know, um, many of my students go to work for red teaming or penetration where they try to probe and attack computer systems from the outside to identify potential vulnerability. You almost never do that in the classroom. The most effective red teams, like the most effective attackers, find vulnerability that no one has ever thought before, much less included on a course syllabus. Um, it's a great article that you really got to read. Um, but most of your work has to be done outside the classroom. I'll go one step further. So if you are going to be interviewing, I know my friend is a VP at Morgan Stanley, and one of those first interview questions, if not the first interview question, is tell me about projects and your interest in cybersecurity outside the classroom. And he make it very clear outside the classroom. And the reason is that if you all, because the problem is we know for so many years is that you can't learn this stuff in the classroom. And for years, or too long, cybersecurity, and still, is still neglected in the classroom. But that doesn't mean that the classroom is not important. Let's talk about the fundamentals. The fundamentals. You got to get, if you're interested, no matter what facet of cybersecurity that you're interested in, whether it's the offense, defense, middle of the road, if you're interested in law and policy, you got to get the fundamentals right. So, what are the fundamentals of cybersecurity? Like, what are the fundamentals that you got to learn um, um, in order to pursue anything in cybersecurity? Really, is this. The fundamentals include things like data structures, bits and bytes. But really, it boils down to really how systems work. And fail. So a lot of students, whether it's at Tufts, whether it's at other institutions, they always ask me, okay, what course should I take next? What security course should I take next? And my response is always this. If you're interested in cybersecurity and you're really, really, really interested, like you're really interested in cybersecurity, you're pretty sure this is the thing that you want to do, what I tell students is, you after taking this course, the next thing that you gotta do is don't take another security course yet. It's like, wow. No, don't take another security course yet. Anyone can learn the tools and techniques. You can learn that on the job, and there's plenty of free content for that. Get that out of the way. You're gonna if you want to learn things like how to be a pen tester, you want to learn Metasploit, you want to learn virtual machines, you want to learn the cloud. There's plenty of free content and even continuing education opportunities to do that. What is extremely hard to learn on your own. Yes, I know we're in an age of YouTube, is the basic fundamentals. So therefore, I always tell students, your next course that you got to take is get to one of the bread and butter system courses. Get to know get to take one of the bread and butter courses. Namely, first one is operating systems. The other is networks. Alright. Why operating systems? Look, here's why. The operating systems is, while chances are many of you will never work on the operating system directly, but you all will have to deal with any cyber systems, mobile, laptop, Nintendo Switch, the coffee maker. Those are all systems, and each and every one of those systems, if they have a CPU, mostly everything have a computer in them these days, they will all have an operating system. They will all have an operating system, and you got to understand a lot of the fundamentals, such as how memory, race conditions, semaphores, time sharing, disk usage, like whatever system is out there, that has a CPU, they'll always have an operating system of some sort. So operating system will really delve into like the core concept of how a lot of modern computing systems actually work under the hood. So you got to know that. So you got to take operating system. What really, and this is of course one of the topics that really bothers me at Tufts, is why don't we have operating system as a requirement for a computer science student? Yet if you're a computer engineer, you have to take operating system, and you have to take the computer science version of operating system, which is amazing. The other one is networks. Look, all the cool stuff are in the networks right now. Almost all the cool stuff is on the network. A networks course will go a lot deeper into all the layers of the OSI model. I know at Tufts, when you take the networks course, you have to write a web server in C. I think you also have to write some sort of a secure file transfer as well in C. So it's not an easy course. It can be pretty damn difficult. But I can tell you, so many students who take security and then they take networks. They all say, 100% of the students all say, oh, now I understand what the hell is going on in security. Because for most of the students, what I'm finding out, well, kind of sad, is that for most students, the security course is like their only exposure to networks. And of course, if this is actually your only and first exposure to networks, people are like, I don't know what the hell is going on. When you take the network course, like, oh, now I knew what the hell was going on in security. You gotta learn how systems actually work. And the bread and butter, the real foundational courses, strongly recommend you take operating system and networks. If you actually don't have a school right now, if you don't have a school, if you don't have a school affiliation and you want to learn operating systems on your own, there is one course that I would strongly recommend you to take a look at. And one of the things that I've taught courses like security, of course, I've taught web development, mobile development. Um, oh God, please do not get me into a conversation about doctors and nutrition, because it is one of the most. It is such a neglected topic, nutrition, that for too long we've been given bad advice after bad advice after bad advice. I mean, there's a reason why like the credibility is now really, really in just like really iffy. That's a longer conversation for another day. So I like look, if you're taking a mobile development course, you want to build a mobile app. You take a web development course, you got to build websites and web apps. Take security, like Capture the Flag. I always believe if you take an operating system course, you got to build an operating system. University of Cambridge have an operating systems course that is available for free for everyone. And the one thing that really stands out about them, hopefully this website is here it is. Free course on building a very simple operating system for the Raspberry Pi and assembly. Oh shoot, they don't have it anymore. Or did they move it? You know, do they have? I thought they had free course on building a. Damn it! Ooh, they don't. I mean, they have books around it. But if you want to get a real hands-on experience on operating system, you've never, even if you're a computer science student and you missed operating system, do one, but do it with a course where you actually have to build like an operating system for the Raspberry Pi. Is this an old one? Is this the same article? Oh, damn it. Oh, man, it's dead. Damn. Oh, that's terrible. Yeah, so if you're going to do operating systems, definitely try to look for one, and you don't have a school affiliation, look for one where they use a Raspberry Pi. You build an operating system for the Raspberry Pi, which is a $35 computer. So you really, really get hands-on knowledge. I know at MIT, see MIT OpenCourseWare operating systems course. Yeah, operating system engineering. This is also legit. Syllabus. The labs are pretty good. I think you actually work with System V. You actually work with System V and you use QEMU. There it is. Yep. They even have the labs up here. That's actually a pretty good alternative. But if you're gonna do an operating system course on your own, do one with a RAS like that has you actually build or work on a mini operating system for the Raspberry Pi. Okay. Uh, so look, in terms of the academic work, the value of an operating system course or networks, or your data structure, your bit bytes and pointers, how systems work is really, I mean, that's really what you gotta get a good foundational knowledge before you do anything else. As I said before, look, if you want to get into cybersecurity specific stuff like zero trust, cloud stuff, it's all over the place now, and there's plenty of opportunities for that. Um, Other courses, if you're looking for academic courses, if you're a student that you're interested in, let me see what happens. Let me see at Tufts. We offer like a few security courses. Graduate course descriptions. Here we go. Internet scale distributed systems. That's very much like that had that's had it really kind of covers a lot of operating system distributed. It's really a distributed system course, and that's also very good as well. So you're gonna learn a little bit about OS stuff, and of course a lot of web as well too. That's taught by Noah Mendelson, who's a member of the W3C. Um, Program analysis. I don't know if we offer program analysis, verification, and synthesis. Um, Software test. I don't know when we offered. I know that we have a network security course now. Network security, vulnerabilities, attacks. Yep, and mitigation at all levels, layers on the network stack. So I would say around 20% of the course is overlap with security, but that delves you deeper into network security. Database systems is always fun. It's a good mixture of both theory and practical. We know that course. Cloud computing, yeah, again, distributed systems, understanding how the cloud works. Uh, Software engineering, that could be extremely valuable, especially when you're doing projects that have to do with multiple tier systems. AI and ML goes without saying. I mean, that's like currently the best new hotness that there is. But there's also, I know we also offer a course on security and privacy design. Yeah, here it is. We also privacy, security, and data. We did offer an offensive security course at Tufts that actually used Windows. This one, human factors in security and privacy. I think a very underrated topic in security and privacy and design of human as a design, human as a UI UX design stuff. I'll give you an idea. Phishing scams happen a lot on mobile devices, and big reason why is well, the screen's a lot smaller. So on a desktop or a laptop screen, one of the things that you notice is that the URL bar can be long, so you can see the full URL. But the problem in the mobile space is, let's say for example, Bank of America. So on a mobile screen, which is a lot smaller than a desktop or laptop screen, you would see Bank of America and that's it. But you don't see the other part after Bank of America. So it could be like bankofamerica.phishingdomain.com and then a whole bunch of other stuff in the URL. So yeah, bad UI, bad design actually can cause a lot of problems with security and privacy. And let's not forget about dark patterns as well too. So the fundamentals, you can't put a price tag on that. You gotta know, yeah, if you want to be really good in security, get the foundation, get the fundamental. Don't go into guns a blazing with a Metasploit course and you can or Metasploit. There's uh, there's plenty of content out there on like learning the tools and techniques. Continuing education. Okay, so let's not talk about like let's move on from college and university side, like your computer science degree. So, what continuing education opportunities do you have? The big one, as I mentioned in the last class, is SANS, SANS.org. So SANS do boot camps. And I said nothing but great things about them last week because I'm an alum. So I'm an alum, and if I didn't say this last time, I'll say it now. There's a lot of stuff I learned that I used to teach what is now Introduction to Security. I learned from the SANS GCIH course. Uh, these are not cheap. One of the things but I have a lot of students that have gone through these, so one of the common courses that students take from SANS is the one in malware. Reverse engineering malware, malware analysis tools and techniques. The course syllabus. So this is taught by Lenny Seltzer, world-class trainer. So you learn about a lot about malware. You'll receive a Windows Workstation, Remix Virtual. Okay, so you got malware fundamentals, assembling a toolkit for effective malware analysis, reversing malicious code. Yeah, you'll. So this is like a glorified version of Malware Unicorns course, free course, reversing malicious code, extending assembly knowledge, analyzing malicious PDF documents. Hell, shell code, stuff we didn't even do. Code injection, offer malicious JavaScript, self-defending malware, and I have a malware analysis tournament. This is a CTF game. And the one that actually will be awarded a coveted Sand Lethal Forensicator coin. So if you want to know and earn the title of Reverse Engineering Malware Master, so if you want to know, I'll just copy this link. If you want to know, one of my most trusty, of course, one of the best students I will ever have, Winona de Sombre. She actually, she won it. There it is. So she won it in fall of 2018. This was actually right after she graduated from Tufts. Oh yeah, that's the look at the coin. Look at that. Oh yeah, so she won it at San Baltimore. So huge win there. So I want to give a shout out to Winona. It's been a while. Hopefully I'll see you again in Vegas this summer. But yeah, boot camps. There's no shame in boot camps because I was an alum. I took it. There's no shame in boot camp. So SANS offer world-class training. How's Black Hat doing this year? Black Hat USA 2023. Now these can get really interesting. I mean, the training schedule. The Black Hat schedule. So I'll talk a little bit more about Security Summer Camp that is held in Las Vegas each and every summer. But one of the biggest of the big three of Security Summer Camp is Black Hat USA. So it is. It's largely corporate, but it's also it's a offer like really technical, deep technical trainings and talks. A little bit cheaper, so if you want to learn about 5G, what are the five? Some of these are okay. Oh, so we're in early bird pricing right now. 5G infrastructure attack and defense, abusing and securing Azure services, Active Directory, advanced persistent threat hunting and incident response, advanced hacking and securing Windows architecture. So prices anywhere between looking like right now like $4 for a course. You can get good work. So would you recommend the event? Yes and no. Yes and no. For Black Hat. The problem with this is a good one. A guide to reverse engineer reversing with Ghidra, 3,800. The thing I would think about Black Hat talks, they're really high level. They're like not really high level, but they're really they go beyond your head really quickly. So there's a lot of like brand new research talks. Like if you're trying to learn cybersecurity and you go to a Black Hat talk, is that a lot of stuff will go like over your head. Um, like it's cutting edge stuff. If you want to network and meet with companies, maybe okay. But there is one big problem with Black Hat is it's really expensive to go. There's an attendance fee. There's a lot of trainings offered. And yes, we know that Black Hat make a lot of money from these training courses. Yeah, malware hunting, digital forensics, payment systems. May 26th is the early bird. Another reverse engineer firm with Ghidra. Okay. So that's another training opportunity. if you can make good connections, yeah. I mean, I'll mention the other two conferences uh, that happen during security summer camp in Vegas in a little bit. You'll probably get a bigger bang for your buck there, especially if you're trying to learn. Continuing education, we have SANS, Black Hat, um, trainings. Those are the two big ones that are coming off of my hat. Actually, hold on. There's another one. DEF CON workshops. Okay, since then, let's talk about DEF CON, the biggest one of them all, the most famous security conference in the world. Arguably the most famous security conference, hacking conference in the world, the one that parents tell their kids don't ever go. It will be in August 10th to 13th at Caesars Forum this year. It's $440 this year, so it's a far cry from the $100 cash back in 2006, my first one. Yeah, let's see if, let me just go to last year. Can I go over to DEF CON 30? Call for papers and workshops is still open. When is it open? When is it closed? May 1st. Oh shit, maybe I should do something this year at DEF CON. DEF CON 30. Let's see, this was last year's conference. Let's talk about their workshops. There you go. Their workshops have a beginner's guide to obfuscation, malicious containers, pen testing industrial systems, breaking into CTFs. So these are a lot shorter courses, like 4 hours at the most. Art of modern malware analysis, and a lot more affordable too. But good luck trying to get into them. Uh, we used to run for years. We ran. Are these easy to follow along? I would say a lot. Yeah, they should be. When we were running trainings at the Packet Hacking Village at DEF CON for years, they would be sold out in a matter of minutes. Network Hacking 101. There you go. So yeah, these are geared to a lot of beginners and also for people who are like intermediate level. Interesting. Securing Smart Contracts by Sam Bone taught how many courses last year? Securing Web Apps. Sam is a partner in crime. Um, he does a lot of great presentations and trainings for us. So Sam is a great guy. So if you can take a course with Sam Bone, go for it. So yeah, you got DEF CON workshops as well. All right. So however, the one thing about any continuing, look, at nothing is nothing. If you're good quality education, none of it is free. Black Hat and SANS can be expensive. DEF CON workshop can be a little bit more affordable. Okay, so what about free content? Free content. Listen, I'm not gonna say YouTube. I'm not listen. Let me just not get into YouTube. But one thing I will say, well, we have malware, unicorns, reverse engineering. One course. Stuff I've actually seen. That one. Another one is that I would recommend is Portswigger, Web Academy. That's another one. Also, in terms of free, I guess I'll have to give them a shout out. John Hammond. Yeah. Definitely a very good channel. Of course, you might know John because he gave that presentation on Scapy. Well, he said Scapy. Okay. So a lot of certification. Now there is some overlaps between certification and continuing education. There's actually a lot of overlaps between continuing education and certification. SANS Institute offers a lot of certification. So you have SANS Institute. You have SANS. The other really big one is Offensive Security, the OSCP. The OSCP certification. Now it's at offsec.com. Again, this is actually not, and there's a cost to this now. If you're looking to be, okay, if you're looking for a technical training or technical certification, um, the one that people swear by is OCSP, the Offensive Certified Professional. Your final exam in the certification is to successfully attack and penetrate various live machines in a safe lab environment. It is like of all the certification, and there's a lot of certifications to be more technical than others. Okay. About the exam, it's a 24-hour. It is proctored online, so it may feel a little bit creepy because they have to monitor for people who actually if you don't cheat or anything. All learners are required to have solid understanding of TCP/IP networking, reasonable Windows and Linux administration experience, and familiarity with basic programming like Python and Bash scripting. The course syllabus, you're going to be using a virtual machine, threat actors, practice of cybersecurity. The CIA triad, that looks familiar. Cybersecurity laws, regulations, standards, and framework, career opportunities in cybersec. Long thing. Information gathering, vulnerability scanning with Nessus, vulnerability scanning with Nmap. Yes, you can do that. Web app enumeration, cross-site scripting, directory reversal, file inclusion vulnerabilities, file upload, command injection. See, we've done a lot. SQL injection. Now, if you're taking this course, this is for you. So I want to talk about a little bit more in general about certifications. So I get asked this question a lot too, which is, should I go for a cybersecurity certification? And I wrote an article about this. And here's the thing. Certifications and education is a long talked about topic. So I want to say bar none. So what's the whole purpose of a cybersecurity certification? The whole point of a cybersecurity certification is to say, well, I have baseline knowledge in X, Y, and Z. That's the whole point of any certification, baseline knowledge. But do you need to get one? That's the question. And answers will vary. I will say that certification can only help you, not hurt you. The big dilemma is, why do you want to get a certification, or for what? There are many cybersecurity certifications out there. Things like SANS is around a couple $100 the last time I checked. There's also the CISSP, which is a very broad certification, and that businesses actually look for a lot. The problem is, it's very time consuming to study for, and it's also expensive because it's a renewal fee each and every year, and you have to take continuing education credits. So the question that you need to ask yourself is, can you afford to take a certification? Some certifications are more expensive than others. Now, do you need it is another question. If you're going to be working for the Department of Defense, you're going to need a certification of some sort. They actually have, and here's a documentation on baseline certification by the military. Hopefully this page is still available. Damn, it's not. I gotta change this. But it used to be a page that say, okay, for this job, you need to take these certifications. Okay, some jobs, security certifications are required. A lot of managerial positions in cybersecurity, they look for a CISSP. If you want to say that you want to be more on the technical side of things, do SANS or do OCSP. Okay. Um, if you're looking for something that is a baseline certification, that's also affordable. I have a lot of students that have taken Security Plus, and they said it's pretty good. Okay. Um, I do have a little bit of a comment, a reservation about CISSP because what is it? I know plenty of people who actually have a CISSP, but not good security practitioners. I know some of the best security practitioners don't have a CISSP, so it's all over the place. Um, Again, certification can only help you, not hurt you. Another controversial thing is I know there is a couple of friends who are women. They said getting a certification actually helped me because it really was a proof that I got into it, that I am really into security, especially when you're dealing with a predominantly male field, which is a thing. So I just want to let you know. So again, it can only help you, not hurt you. But I've had friends, women, who say it actually helped them double. All right. Uh, the same with grad school. The thing about grad school is, I wrote on this article. Like, is it worth it to go for cybersecurity for grad school? I'll say this: it's very expensive, no matter what the case is. If you're just going for cybersecurity, I'm not sure if I can make a case. However, if you're going for something beyond cybersecurity, namely, if you're going to school like for something like cybersecurity and policy, that is a case where I would say it may worth it to go to school. Here's the thing. The reason why you want to go to graduate school for cybersecurity education is for a couple of reasons. Number one, if you want to be the creme a la creme of the creme a la creme in security field, especially for technical security, I always tell people go to either Johns Hopkins, UCSB, or Carnegie Mellon. An education at those schools worth every penny. Um, if you're doing anything policy related, it definitely makes sense to go back to school because then you get not only do you have the education, but more importantly, the networking, and also talking to people who are not technical as well. I'll give you a good example. If you go to like Georgetown or Tufts or Boston College programs or Hopkins, you'll get the best of both worlds. Okay, you'll get the best of both worlds. So grad school makes sense if you want to be like creme a la creme in a certain area of cybersecurity, like hardware security, or if you want to actually go, do like a cybersecurity and public policy. That totally makes sense for school. Because eventually, for career options in the policy space, they still look for a degree. Now, if you're going to cybersecurity just for like for going back to school for pen testing, I'm not so sure if that's a good use of your money. I'm not so sure if that's a good use of your money. Okay, so that's my 2 cents on the education and the certification piece. Books. So, what books do you have? What book opportunities do you have? Quite a few. If you want me to recommend you a starting book for anyone who wants to learn deeper into security, the one that I actually recommend to everyone is The Art of Hacking. It's a little older book, but it's still really, I don't know, it's from all the books Hacking the Art of Exploitation. Actually, a lot of the books that I will recommend are from No Starch Press. I want to give a shout out to No Starch Press by John Erickson. This one you'll learn, again, really, I said earlier today, like, there you go. You want to have, as I said earlier, you want to have a good foundation of things like networks and operating system, and that's exactly what the book does. Hacking the Art of Exploitation. You actually learn how computers work, memory, but then you actually get to things like buffer overflows. You will talk about port binding, writing remote shell, writing shell code. So it's a technical book. It's a real technical book, but it's actually is very digestible at the same time. This is a really, really good book. This is a really good book to start off with. The other book I would recommend is another one if you want to learn about. There's a whole bunch of great. There's a list of great security books from No Starch. Foundation of Information Security, iOS application. This one, Web Security for Developers. I've worked with No Starch Press. They've been there for years. Want to give a shout out to Bill Pollock. Hacking APIs, Gray Hat Hacking, Georgia Weidman for pen testing, Ethical Hacking by Daniel Graham. Where's the Wireshark book? I call it the Wireshark book. Practical Packet Analysis by Chris Sanders, great book. So here. Occasionally, you have a whole bunch of security books that are actually bundled together in a Humble Bundle. The Humble Bundle for security. No Starch Press. Happens usually at the end of the year, and so you pay like $25. Yeah, here it is. Hacking by No Starch Press. This bundle was live from November 28 to December 19, 2022. Probably going to happen, it seems like right now, it happens each and every year. But it's fantastic. This is fantastic. You get some of the best books money can buy for like No Starch Press books, like all the books I've mentioned, for like $25 to $30. Okay, keep an eye out for the Humble Bundle Hacking by No Starch Press at the end of the year. Okay? So currently I've given you a lot of content in terms of like hacking, the art, exploitation, any No Starch. Another one I would recommend, Tribe of Hackers. I could give you an illegal copy of it, but it would be completely wrong. Tribe of Hackers, I don't want to disappoint Jennifer and Marcus. No, but it's really worth it to buy. It's a collection of industry and career and personal insight from literally hundreds of security luminaries. There's a tribe of hackers for blue teamers, tribe of hackers for security leaders, tribe of hackers for red team. But the original one is the one that's really cool. Let me see. Yeah, here it is. The original one. There you go. Tribe of Hackers. Tribe of Hackers. 4.5 stars. Well, not bad. And so what this book has, it's just advice from the best hackers in the world, how people got started and all that stuff. And security luminaries got interviews such as Leslie Gerhardt, Bruce Potter, Robert Lee, and Jason Street. So tell us about how people got their experience, how they got started in the field, and what recommendations. One of the things I remembered when I did the interview for Tribe of Hackers, I did say that probably my biggest regret, if I had to do it all over again, I would definitely pay attention to the lower level stuff. Like if you take a look at my career, like the one stuff that I never got pushed, never got through. Like I've never talked at Black Hat before. I've never given a talk at Black Hat, and largely is I think my low level research skills. I never got that exposure. Never really got that exposure. I really wish I actually got like delved deeper into things like operating systems and networks during my younger days. But that's the reason why I emphasize, get the foundational knowledge first. Um, on the book, I also credit the Wallace Sheep for getting where I am today. Um, oh, projects. One more thing. Conferences. The Tribe of Hackers is really, it's actually not a long book. It's like 100 interviews, and it's a lot of fun to read. And what is it? Now is what? How much is the paperback? It's only $17.97. Not bad. No, $25. Not bad. Not bad. Um, let's talk about projects. What projects can you do? Home Lab. Home Lab is what it is. Build your own networking lab. Build your own like a lab of servers at home. This can actually be really cheap using virtual machines, or you can buy something like really expensive, like a server box. But why Home Lab? Home Lab, I cannot tell you how much it has helped me back in the days. I don't have one anymore because the server box I actually got was like too friggin' noisy. But a home lab will actually give you hands-on exposure to things like basic things like how to set up a firewall, how to set up a secure network, how to set up servers, how to set up deliberately vulnerable servers in a playground for good and bad stuff to do. If you're going to do malware analysis, a lot of people have their own labs at home for malware analysis that is completely off, that absolutely does not touch the live network. But if you do a home lab, cybersecurity home lab, um, nah, I don't want that course. I want someone to write something up. Foresight, home lab setup. Come on, there's nothing good here. Reddit home, the home lab subreddit is always fun to read. You can see like people's setup, building an enterprise grade home lab. All right. Oh, this was old. Yeah, do you know that you can replicate enterprise servers, workstation, appliances, and sensors at home for shoots on a shoestring budget? Just a lot of content out there, but really, there's plenty of YouTube videos out there. But at home lab, you can set up like you get real hands-on exposure to setting up servers and firewalls, and um, the list goes on. All right, so it's really good. This is a good way to hone your skills. Alright, so you don't want to do a home lab. The one thing I would recommend that I would say to students, if you want to do any projects on cybersecurity, and this is also going to be pretty surprising as well too for a lot of you, is technical projects towards learning cybersecurity. I'll show you this one. Technical project ideas. Create a virtual machine in VirtualBox or VMware workstation. Create a virtual machine, Linux server only, no desktop, headless. Build a web server in the cloud, build a static website using HTML, CSS, create a blog using WordPress, build a honeypot in the cloud, build a Pi-hole using Raspberry Pi, build a native mobile app but using geolocation, write a program that uses third-party API, and build a blog using, wait a minute, you may be wondering, whoa, none of these projects look security related. That's correct. None of these projects are security related. They're really projects that they have almost nothing to do with security, but they have security implications. Such as a good one is mobile app with geolocation. Um, you can actually learn, how the constraints and also how to abuse certain features on mobile devices or lack thereof. So the whole point of these projects that I listed here are to build, create, and write. I don't mention anything about security. No security tools, no ethical hacking, no open source, none of that. No social engineering. Um, and I want to echo something that Marcus Carey, who actually was one of the who was one of the authors of Tribe of Hackers, hopefully tweet is still up. He said more often than not, if all you know is ethical hacking, OSINT, and social engineering, it's going to be really hard to get your first job in cybersecurity. Um, it's not only do those skills don't translate into immediate need for cybersecurity, but you know, you want to show your intellectual curiosity. I mean, the real way that you get hired for security jobs is, for your intellectual curiosity. But those projects I listed in that article I had here really is to understand. Again, it gets to the foundational point. Understand how things work. So if all you're going to use is, fire up and run Metasploit and other security tools on Kali, you're just a script kiddie. Really is to understand how systems work and also fail. Like WordPress is used by over 25% of the internet websites on the internet. So knowing that fact, it's going to be pretty important to learn how, like, the structure of a WordPress blog. And sadly, they're all roughly the same. Okay, so once you actually have a foundation of how systems work, then you have a much better sense of what's going on when you use tools like Metasploit, Burp, Nmap, and a whole bunch of other tools. Okay, O'Reilly.com, the book publisher. They have there's a book by Christina Murillo, 97 Things That Every Information Security Professional Should Know. This was published in September 2021. Very short book. A very, very short book. 97 Things That the Information Security Professional Should Know. Book description. Information can be vast, very vast and overwhelming. I said that at the beginning. In this practical guide, Christina introduces technical knowledge from a diverse range of experts and InfoSec field with 97 concise, full, and useful tips. So the interesting about this book is all over the place. It is take control of your journey. So you talk about career. So this is a book on low level and high level communication, people at work. Investigator Chick. That's actually a handle. Kathy Ullman. Diverse path towards a better security professional. Take a beat, think like a firefighter for better incident response. Give a shout out to Catherine. Hope all is well. 4 Things to Know by Chloe. The business is always right. Why choose Linux? Okay. Security is people. Yeah, that's absolutely true. Yep, my technical project piece, well, that was here. CWE, top 25 most dangerous software weaknesses. Yeah, we talked about that in this course. Password management. Okay. So, all right. So, projects. One more. Probably the best investment one of the best investments that you're going to spend money. Probably, I would say the one thing that really helped of all the things that I've talked about so far. All right, the fundamentals I got out of school. Although we didn't have networks and operating system. I did take a SANS course. Free security content. I might help build those now. I was certified. Yeah, I've read a whole bunch of books. I did a home lab before. Home lab, really, I would say I have a strong vouch for home lab to hone your skills. But I say that probably the biggest bang for the buck, the one that really have paid off big time for me, was going to DEF CON. And also going to the 2004 Usenix Security Conference, Usenix annual conference here in Boston. If you at those two things, I think the conferences have probably paid off. Had probably worth it for me by far and away the most. When I graduated from my master's at Tufts in 2004, I just want to be. I want to build games. I want to work at EA. Somewhere in alternative reality, I'll probably be working on FIFA or some project right now. Probably got laid off. But if it wasn't for work at that time, they sent me to the Usenix annual conference in Boston in 2004. It's now called the ATC. It will actually be back in Boston this year in 2023, right the month before DEF CON. The Usenix annual technical conference will take place in July 10th to 12th. What the whole Usenix annual technical conference is, it's largely academic, but there's a lot of practitioners there too. So you learn about system, network management, troubleshooting. Back at the Sheraton, good. Do they have the trainings yet? Oh, they have all call for papers. They don't have presenters yet. I would just say that if it wasn't for Usenix, if it wasn't for the annual technical conference, I would have not known Gary McGraw or Rick Farrell. They introduced me to cybersecurity. Full stop. So if it wasn't for them, I would probably be working some like needless, like some BS job right now, or working on some technical project I don't really care so much about. But going to the conference and meeting Gary and Rick, and they gave me not only an introduction to this thing called cybersecurity is a thing, but they also introduced me to many other people for many years later to come. And you cannot put a price tag on that. My first DEF CON in 2006. First one in DEF CON 14. Was at the Riviera Hotel and Casino. Fun times. It was $100 admission. And if it wasn't for DEF CON, I would have not gone to know the Wall of Sheep. And if it wasn't for the Wall of Sheep, the Wall of Sheep were the people who gave me the foundation to all the hands-on tools and techniques I never learned in school. Damn. By far and away the best investment I've ever made was conferences. Because really, at the end, it really boils down to people. Okay? So the big ones are Unix annual technical conference. Why I mentioned this with the ATC is because it'll help me get started to where I am. Security Summer Camp in Vegas. The trio, all three happen at the same time. Black Hat, DEF CON, and B-Sides Las Vegas. Speaking of B-Side Las Vegas, I want to give a plug on the B-Sides Las Vegas Proving Ground track, which is very important for people, for learners. If you want to get acclimated with the cybersecurity community, get to know people, and also give a talk to get your career started, B-Side Las Vegas Proving Grounds. This track has been around for a long time. So what a proving ground opportunity is, and I strongly recommend people to do this. So the proving ground track exists to give first-time speakers an opportunity to work with a seasoned information security professional to improve their public speaking skills with the end goal of presenting a research at the global stage at B-Side Las Vegas. So it's a mentorship program, really. But it also gives you an opportunity to go speak and basically get your career started, get the ball rolling. So I was a mentor for a proving ground for years until the pandemic hit. So mentors should have at least 3 years of experience in cybersecurity. Each accepted speaker and mentor will be provided all speaker amenities at B-Side Las Vegas, so you don't have to pay a thing. And it's still hard to get into the B-Side Las Vegas conference. A T-shirt, a conference badge, another conference extra conference badge. Interesting. Early 2023. Donut drive open. Call for volunteers will open soon. Why? Call for papers is now. Okay. Still be at Tuscany. Well, it's a great opportunity if you want to get acclimated with cybersecurity. So, yeah. So if you add it all up, there's lots and lots of opportunities, lots of avenues that are, whether you're in school, whether you're not, there's many avenues for cybersecurity. Um, so really, it also boils down to there is one summary that can add it all up. Yeah, there's a lot of books, there's projects you can do, there's certifications, there's free content, there's continuing education. But look, it really boils down to really two things. Though probably the best things about where you want to go with cybersecurity, if you want to say the two most important things are the fundamentals and people. All right, get the fundamentals right, and that builds up your intellectual curiosity. And the cybersecurity community, the people are really small. When you're going to be working on a cybersecurity job, it's not like the technical stuff that you do that really matters. It's the relationships that you have. It's the communications. When you go to conferences, you learn quite a bit, even when you talk to just a random person out on the hall. So it's all about people. That really makes a big difference in your career, and especially when it comes to cybersecurity. So fundamentals and people. Strong advocate for that. So other than that, folks, anyone else have any questions? Anyone that is on the air have any questions? We have some time. Anyone want to chime in? Anyone have any questions to ask? I can be happy to answer anything. Anyone? No one. It is a lot to digest. It is. Yep. Let me see if I can just paste all this. Yeah, I could. Yeah, I did. Nice. There's a lot to digest. But here's the good news. The good news is there's just a lot of options that you have. And if you want to do cybersecurity, there's no excuse for you to not learn something. What I'm definitely saying is, if you really want to do this stuff, if you're really invested, if you really think that this is cybersecurity is a thing, you got to take the initiative and do something. And there's plenty of opportunities and resources out there to take advantage of. There's no excuse. That's what Jeff Seibert, who founded Crashlytics, he told me over dinner one time. It's yeah, I mean, these days a lot of tools are just the cost of software and tools is zero. In terms of $0. It wasn't like this in the 90s. Yeah, would you recommend I go over things as fundamental? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, you should. Here's the thing, I'll just give you an example. Basic programming stuff. For me, it comes naturally because, even if I don't learn it, if I don't do it for 5 years, I can still pick it up down the road because I've been doing it for year in and year out. It's like when you're a hockey player and you play golf and you take a lot of time off. um, you're going to pick it up really quickly. But if you don't do this often, then you're gonna struggle. I mean, programming and a lot of the tech stuff is one of those things that you really keep on practicing. So yeah, I mean, I'll give you an example. I never took the real good programming languages course that we now offer at Tufts, and it was just amazing how much I didn't get out of my education when I was looking at Norman Ramsey's content. Yeah, so I'm at you know my email address, right? Yeah, I'll be here during the summer at ming@wallacesheep.com. Yeah, I'm at ming@wallacesheep.com. That's my summer home. That's my summer home. Yeah, yeah, that's my summer home. And looking forward to DEF CON soon. We gotta do some work. Yeah, um, always nice to brush up on things. Well, even in our group, we always like to say, I wish we had more time for ourselves. So um, everyone is encouraged to do a CTF when they're around. We don't want to finish it. All you need to do is just do one challenge. If you can get one challenge out of like 20 or something, that's a huge win. They keep your brain moving. Keep your brain moving. Yeah. Anyone else have any questions, thoughts? One thing I am not worried about at all are the career opportunities because they're still hiring in security. Yeah, there was a big round of layoffs at Amazon today. There was also another one at Dropbox. A lot of devs are getting laid off, but security right now is pretty stable for the most part. So I'm not too worried about that part. So you may be wondering if we're going to be back for fall pasting. I already did. Yeah, I pasted the list. The list is above. Yep, it's on the chat above. So you may be wondering if we're going to be back in fall 2023. Yep, look back. Nice. It'll be hard to believe. We'll be season number 7. Sporadically, I'll be on Twitch during the summer. I'll probably be playing FIFA when hours like end of the year. And also, I may do like a couple of short presentation. One thing that I really would like to get on Twitch is do interviews with people. Like, if you can have like a side by side with like, that will be a cool thing. Yeah, but occasionally I'll be on Twitch again this summer. Probably like either short cybersecurity content or playing FIFA. All right. Well, folks, for any student here, yeah, good luck. It was fun. It was a very pioneering semester, as I said. I want to say thank you for everyone for tuning in. Thank you so much for an enjoyable semester. But I will also say that this semester, I think, is a very pivotal one. One thing I've noticed is this certainly is now the start of, a lot of companies are saying like, oh yeah, this is now the start of AI. I can understand a little bit of that. I can tell you in higher education right now, certainly this semester, you can see the number of students that are using ChatGPT and other AI tools. Uh, a lot of instructors are scared right now. A lot of instructors are very, very scared, for better and worse. Uh, we don't know what the future will hold, but it doesn't matter. This is the first one, and we're the pioneers. But other than that, folks, I will see you soon. So, take care, folks. See you soon. See you again.